Today our group will talk about financial ratio analysis of Maxis Berhad. These are my group members: Priska anak Isa, Jacinta Camilia anak Koloni, Emilia Yvonne anak Julin, Sharifah Nurhanisa binti Syed Hasbi.
Here I am going to share the background and description of Maxis Berhad. Established in 1995, Maxis was one of the first mobile communication provider in Malaysia. The company is constantly revamping its business model and was one of the first operator to introduce 4G services in 2013. The company is a public limited liability company incorporated and domiciled in Malaysia, and it listed of the main market of Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad. The principal activity of the company is investment holding, while the principal activity of the group comprising the company and its subsidiaries are to offer a full suite of covered telecommunication, digital and related services and solutions, and corporate support and services function for the group. Its 4G service reached 15% of the Malaysian population, making Maxis a market leader in this area. Furthermore, it offers postpaid, prepaid, phone and broadband. The company was founded on August 7, 2009 and is headquartered in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. In addition, the name Maxis Berhad was given after the company was renamed after its old name, which was Binaring Berhad in year 1999. The company was founded in 1993 by Tan Sri Ananda Krishnan and is now based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The good news about Maxis is ranked top 8 among the top 10 biggest company in Malaysia. For liquidity ratio, the current ratio and quick ratio show good performance. This can be proven when the current ratio for the year 2022 increased to 13.87 times. The quick ratio for the year 2022 also increased to 13.86 times. Therefore, it shows that the Maxis Berhad can fulfill its current obligation with its available current asset. This can be proven when the current ratio for the year 2022 are increased to 13.38 times rather than year 2021 only increased to 6.86 times. For quick ratio for year 2021 is also lower to 6.86 times only, while quick ratio for year 2020 is higher to 13.38 times than year 2021. As a result, Maxis Berhad will be able to fulfill its current obligation in the future with the current assets that are still available. Both year 2020 and 2022 are higher in current ratio and quick ratio, but for year 2021 is lower in current ratio and quick ratio. Alright, this is the graph based on Maxis current ratio and quick ratio that show year by year 2020, 2021 and 2022. So, you can identify which year are increase and decrease. So now we can know that Maxis in year 2020 is higher and 2021 is lower and 2022 is also higher.
Okay, for the next part is leverage ratio. Leverage ratio consists of the debt ratio and times interest earned of the pro forma statement financial of a company, such as we have chosen a company of Maxis Berhad. From this graph, we can see the debt ratio for the year 2020 is 1.162%, while in year 2021 is 9.062%. The debt ratio in year 2020 were lower than in the year 2021, which is show up a good performance. while in the year 2022 of the debt ratio is 41.57%. From here, we can conclude the debt ratio in year 2022 is higher than the previous years. Besides that, the company can show up how to managing and facing the debt of the financial and trying to make it lower of debt to avoid a risk the financial statement in between year 2020 and 2031. Meanwhile, in year 2022, company Maxis Berhad more borrow funds to finance its assets compared to the year 2021. Not only that, time interest earned by the company in year 2020 is 386.83 times and in year 2021 is 375.89 times. We can observe the company can prove that they know how to managing and controlling the interest payment in the right way. In year 2022 is 85.70 times so that it has less ability to service its interest compared to the last year.
Next is average collection period. This ratio assesses how effectively a company collects payment from its customer. It is calculated by dividing the account receivable and sales and times with 360. A higher account receivable turnover suggests that the company collects payment quickly, improving cash flow and reducing the risk of bad debt. Keep in mind that the average collection period may vary significantly depending on the industry and specific company practices. It's essential to compare the average collection period to industry benchmark or historical data for meaningful analysis. Based on annual report of Maxis, the difference between the days in the year of 2020 and 2021 is a big difference, which is from 55 days to 70 days. In 2022, it shows that the average collection period increased to 79 days compared to year 2021. Next is inventory turnover ratio. This ratio measures how quickly a company sells its inventory over a given period. It is calculated by dividing the cost of goods sold COGS and the average inventory. A higher inventory turnover ratio indicates that the inventory is sold quickly, which can be a positive sign of effective inventory management. It is important to note that the inventory turnover analysis should be performed in conjunction with other financial metrics and industry-specific considerations. Different industries may vary inventory turnover expectation due to factors such as seasonality, product shelf life, and market demand. Additionally, it's crucial to interpret the result within the context of the company's specific business model, market condition, and industry norms. Due to increase in inventory of year 2020 to 2021, which is from 0 to 19 times to 1848 times, it allows the company to generate more sales to improve their quality. The profitability ratios show some downward and upward trends. In 2020, the net profit margin was 14.15% and the net profit margin decreased to 12.06% in 2021. However, in 2022, the net profit margin was increased to 15.29%. This indicates that the company's profitability improved compared to the previous year and exceed the level achieved in 2020. It shows that Maxis is generating more profit for each dollar of revenue, which is generally viewed as a positive indicator of financial health. The return on equity was 19.45% in 2020. This means that for every dollar of the average shareholders' equity, the company generated a return of 19.45 cents in net income. The return on equity increased to 20.53% in 2021 compared to 2022. This indicates that the company's profitability improved further during this period. as it generated a higher return on each dollar of average shareholders' equity. In 2022, the return on equity remained relatively stable at 19.6% compared to 2021. This suggests that company maintained a consistent level of profitability, generating a similar return on each dollar of average shareholders' equity. Return on assets in 2020 was 5.83% and decreased to 5.12% in 2021. This suggests that Maxis efficiently in utilizing its assets to generate profit declined during this period, as it generated a lower return on each dollar of average total assets. In 2022, and return on assets increased to 6.3% compared to 2021. This indicates an improvement of Maxis and its ability to generate profit from its assets, as it generated a higher return on each dollar of average total assets. Overall, the company experienced a decrease in profitability in 2021, but managed to recover and improve its profitability in 2022.
In a nutshell, our group feels lucky and grateful because we can learn and calculate the pro forma financial statement. One of the famous company where is Maxis Berhad with a suitable formula. It is important to know how to calculate for us to know the amount of percentage and times of the profit in financial statement of the company. From here, we can know how to identify and classify the part of the liquidity ratio, leverage ratio, activity ratio, and profitability ratio. After that, we can identify the increase and decrease of the financial statement by comparing the 2 years financial statement. From here, we have realized that not all the time company will earn a profit of the business as we have expected, but the company will in the lower state for a certain period. For example, the company should try hard to make a critical thinking with solving the problem with maintaining the ratio to get a good performance of a financial statements. Hence, managers should take an action with uncover trends, strengths and weakness of the financial statements. We identify the problem and solve it slowly. Last but not least, this financial statement formula may we use in our future job, and it's normal for a company for having up and down of financial in business. Don't give up but get it up. That's all from our group. Thank you.